Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have DR. DR is from Dallas in Texas in the USA. So let's see what DR has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello DR, how are you?
I'm well, William. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Thank you for thinking of me.
By the way, before we start the game, should I call you DR?
Yes, that's my name.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
So DR, tell me where you're from.
I live in Dallas, Texas.
That's the place where you grew up and raised?
Well, I was born in Hawaii. My mom was in the Navy, so I moved around a lot as a kid. And we ended up in Dallas where she retired and I grew up. So yeah, I grew up in Dallas, Texas.
I see. My God, look your background. Tell me a little bit about your background as a collection of movies.
Yeah, I'm the founder and artistic producer of Cinewild. It's Texas's only monthly LGBTQ film series.
Wow.
And so once a month, we screen films at the Texas Theater in Oak Cliff, and these are some of the posters from the films that we've done in the past.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And how long have you been involved in this project?
We, my dear friend Daniel and I, and another friend Daniel, started Cinewild 8 years ago.
Wow. And tell me a little bit about the journey so far. How was the idea? How everything started?
So Cinewild actually started because some friends of mine in New York started a group called Geeks Out, an LGBT geek group, and they did a Skip Ender's Game protest. So Ender's Game was a movie that came out in 2013, 2012, based on a book that was written by Orson Scott Card, who was very problematic with the LGBTQ community, had lots of terrible things to say about us. And so Geeks Out started planning these protests all over the country, inviting people to skip Ender's Game, to not go to the theater and put money behind the film that would then eventually go to the pocket to Orson Scott Card. And so my friend Daniel and I did a Skip Ender's Game event here in Dallas. We screened Fifth Element. We had a bunch of people come out to the theater, and the theater was like, wow, that was really successful. We've been thinking about doing an LGBTQ series for a while. Would you want to lead that? And my friend Daniel and I were like, yeah, absolutely. So from very humble beginnings, very protest beginnings, Cinewild started. And from there, Daniel and I just put our hearts and soul into it. We wanted it to be educational. We wanted it to be engaging and entertaining. So we started offering pre-show conversations before the film with a local queer activist or artist or organization to talk about whatever they're doing that complements the film. Then we watch the film, and then afterward we have an engagement party, drag shows, open mic nights, scary storytelling if we're if October and we're doing a horror film, so little things like that.
I see. And so there's always a movie on in the project. There's always something happening or not. There you are showing every day there's different movies to watch or not.
not every day. Once a month. So
once a month. Okay.
Yeah. About a year and a half ago, I reached out to friends and our audience members and opened up Cinewild, and we created a collective. And so we now have about 6 to 7 people that are meeting to program films. It was very important to me when doing Cinewild that we showcased films that hired an LGBTQ person or highlighted an LGBTQ person. I'm 40 years old, and when I was growing up, I didn't see any queer actors or writers getting work. It was very, very, very still very coded and not talked about. That's changing now, which is wonderful. But I still think it's important that I wanted to choose a film because the grip was a lesbian, not because it was like a gay story, but a person who helped make that story happen identified LGBTQ. And I think that's important that we remember that even in the arts industry, we're everywhere and we're doing everything. And I wanted to highlight my siblings in that manner. And so we try to strive for every film, the screenwriter, the costume designer, the sound mixer, anything like that, that they identify LGBT.
Amazing. And that's your full-time job, or you have another job apart?
No, that's kind of like my passion project. That's my baby.
Uh-huh.
My husband and I own a board game store here in Dallas, Common Ground Games, and so I spend a lot of my time there. I also do a lot of activist work and artistic work within the community, hosting different events. Um, I have a background in theater, so I've performed on some of the stages here in Dallas. I've directed some theater. So I'm kind of a jack of all trades, Renaissance man. I know it sounds very pretentious and bougie to say, but I really do have a lot of passions and love, and I try to put my time and energy into them when I can.
I do believe that when you are an artist, you can do a lot. You can go different directions. You can, every day something new comes up, a new project or a new passion, and you collaborate with other people as well. And you enjoy the most. That's what's about being an artist. It's for you to be able to, to work in different fields and be happy and enjoy the journey.
Absolutely. I think I've through my journey the past couple of years, to be honest, I've never really felt at home in any of these worlds that I've been doing. Like I really was a theater person. I went to school for theater. I got my degree in theater. I helped produce an off-Broadway company in New York for a while. But in all of this, I never really felt seen or fulfilled. And it dawned on me a couple of years ago, and I was thinking about it. Like my art, what I create, is space. Is space for people to meet with others, learn something, experience something together, laugh, cry, yell, scream. And my art then vanishes after the event. Some might say it's like an event planner, and I guess that could be it. But I really do find that the art that I create is in between the moments with the people that are there. And so that's kind of really hard, and it's not tangible. It's hard to describe. It also sounds very bougie and pretentious. But when I discovered that, it clicked in my mind that that's what I do. I'm not an actor. I'm not a writer. I utilize all of these different mediums to create this space where people will come together and experience something together, and hopefully walk away moved or angry or happy, and talking about what they experienced together.
That's what people appreciate the most, when someone puts all together in one project. That's what I believe as well. DR, before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself.
Something interesting about me?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much, William. I mean, God, no. I'm really into comic books. I grew up reading X-Men, and at the time, it wasn't what it was like now. Everyone loves the MCU and the Marvel stuff, but really growing up, it was really a lifeline for me, reading those characters and the stories and having an escapism, trying to wrestle with my sexuality and all these different things. And growing up, knowing that I had this family within the X-Men was really important to me. So I mean, is that interesting? I don't know. You decide.
Oh my God, it is for sure.
Okay.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yes, let's dive into that box, William.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Questions? I'm just going to play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first one. Let's do it. There you go. And you forgot to say that we're a dancer as well.
Exactly, another check.
Okay, DR, before we start the game, during the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. First question for you is, what is your funniest memory of a date that you had?
Oh, I was in college in San Francisco. I went to San Francisco State University, and I asked out a Starbucks barista, and we decided to go on a date. And it was like right before Valentine's Day, and we decided to go to Pier 39, really touristy part of San Francisco. And we were just walking around, and it was a beautiful night. You're on the water, very romantic, very idyllic. And we stumbled upon this art gallery this photographer, Peter Lick, was opening his first gallery in Pier 39. And so we just stumbled in and grabbed a glass of wine and walking around, looking at all his amazing photography. And when you walked in, they gave you a ticket. And like an hour later in the gallery, they raffled off one of the pieces that was on the wall. And he read out the ticket that I had. And so I walked away with this beautiful original Peter Lick photography. You might have noticed during the description of this date, I didn't talk about the guy once, because that was fine. We made out a little bit on the pier and that was fun. But the most exciting thing about the date was kind of like being in the moment with this person and stumbling upon this gallery and then walking away with this very beautiful piece of art. So yeah, I guess that's not really about the date, but about the free piece of art that I won.
And do you still have this piece of art?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Amazing. Very good. Good one. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, DR from Dallas, Texas. Next question is, if you could be in somebody's place or somebody's skin for 24 hours, who that would be and why?
If I could be in somebody's place, like switch places with somebody?
Yeah.
For 24 hours?
Yeah.
Dead or alive?
Either way.
Oh, this is a good question. So many different people to choose. And the answer says so much about you. I think it would be interesting to switch with like a head of state, like the president or a governor, just to really see for 24 hours, like, what does that mean to actually lead a people and kind of see what they do? Because we all have our ideas. It's easy for us on the couch to be like, they're doing a bad job and whatnot, but to really be behind the scenes and see what a person in charge like that is going through would be really interesting. And plus, if I was able to do it, I could make some really good decisions off the bat and, like, I don't know, change some people's lives in a good way. That would be cool.
Let's say you have this power. You literally are in one of the, this very powerful person for 24 hours, and you have the chance to change something. Like, what that would be the first thing that would come to your mind?
Oh, right now, I would be the president and I would get rid of gerrymandering. 100% get rid of gerrymandering. I don't know if you know what that is. Gerrymandering is where the people in power will change the voting lines in districts so that they can keep put certain parties in power. And it's done through this really racist point of view to keep marginalized communities quiet and keep other parties in power. So 100% get rid of gerrymandering if I was the president in this wonderful question.
Amazing. Good one. Next question. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me how is being gay in Dallas, and also how was growing up as a gay boy?
Yeah, it's really hard to live in Dallas right now. It's really hard to live in Texas right now. They've been coming out with some really horrible anti-trans laws for youth and adults in general. I have a lot of friends that are looking at moving, like literally picking up their lives and leaving Texas, which I completely understand. It breaks my heart because part of the reasons why my husband and I moved back, and one of the reasons why we're happy to be here, is that us living our lives out and proud is a form of protest and activism. And if people start leaving Texas like that, we're going to lose that visibility. But again, I don't say that to judge anybody. Safety is a really big concern, and I can understand why somebody would not feel safe in Dallas or Texas anymore. So do what you need to do to feel safe and live your life. But I really do hope people will end up staying and fighting here as much as they can. Growing up, I grew up very religious. When I wasn't on stage in theater in high school, I was across the street at the Baptist church, doing all of the activities with the church. And I learned a lot. I'm grateful for that time, but I learned very early in coming out that the church was not my friend. And so I guess to answer that question, it was a lot of internalized hate and fear. There are times that I did think about, there were times I would go to bed and I would wish that I would not wake up. I never wanted to end my life, but I wanted somebody else to do it so that I didn't have to be in that much pain and turmoil. And I'm very grateful that nobody answered those prayers and that I'm here today to do what I'm doing. My husband and I own a very successful board game store here. We get to live our lives the way that I think we want to, and to also, we're giving jobs to LGBTQ people and allies and people that come into our store, and so that's really powerful in itself. So I hope that answered your question.
Yes, absolutely. And there was a day that you came out, or that did something happen that you decide, okay, I'm gonna be myself from now on, or if you can share.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to share. I like to say that I didn't come out of the closet. I ran so far into the closet, I came out the other side. And I was, this could answer your first question too. I was on a date with a guy. I was still in the closet. I think 21 years old, or 20. I'm 20 years old, in Dallas. I'm on a date, and we ended up renting a movie and going back to my house where I lived with my parents. And I was like, it's 10 o'clock. Let's put in the movie. It'll be midnight. My parents will definitely be asleep. So if we ended up wanting to be intimate, we would definitely be okay because my parents will be asleep. This is the time of VHS players. Young people, you'll never know the horror of putting in a tape and having it break in the middle of the first 5 minutes. So that's what happened to us. We put in the movie. Somehow the tape got stuck, or maybe the TV, I don't know. Something broke within the first 5 minutes of the movie. And so I turned around and I was very cheeky, and I was like, well, I guess we have to entertain ourselves. And we start making out, and about like 15 minutes later, my mom walks in and asks if I was going to wake up with her and dad to pray in the morning, because we were praying every Wednesday together. And I was shirtless. My date was shirtless. And I immediately, like, we both just like stare at the carpet. I go, yes, mom, I'll see you in the morning. And there's like a pause, awkwardness, and then she just leaves. And then my date left, and I drove over to my best girlfriend's house and had a moment with her that evening. But so yeah, I wasn't forced out of the closet. I think the universe was just said, it's time. You know who you are. You're not gonna make the move, so I'm gonna make the move for you. And that's how I came out of the closet.
Interesting. Next question is, if you could stay any age for the rest of your life, what age would that be and why?
I always think, I kind of think internally that I'm just a forever freshman. This idea of being young and powerful, but willing to learn and grow. And I always liked surprising the older people I was around when I was young with my knowledge or my wit. And so that was always nice. But I think in terms of like life and where I've come from, I think 38 or 39, those are really good years for me. I finally have kind of like shed a lot of the insecurities that I've had as a young person. I was able to lean into my power and my identity and my talent a little bit more. I mean, I think that's a journey that we're all on for our entire lives. So I'm definitely not, I don't feel like I've arrived anywhere, but I feel more comfortable in my skin. I feel more confident in my ideas and how I can communicate them and how I interact with the world around me.
Aging for you, it's something that bothers you, or it's just numbers?
It's you're asking a 40-year-old a very interesting question right now. I think mentally it's just a number, but physically my body has changed in the past 6 months, and I don't think I'm afraid of getting older or dying. I'm afraid of not adjusting appropriately, which would then expedite some of these things. Like I don't have the body of that freshman, that 18-year-old, that 21-year-old, and that's okay. But I need to remember that and be like, oh, maybe you can't do all those things. Maybe take a break, go to bed a little earlier. It's okay. So I'm afraid of not adjusting appropriately and like really tearing up my body, I guess.
Totally understand what you mean. I think sometimes when I go to the gym and I'll go like, 10 years ago, I didn't feel that pain, or I did like quicker or faster. And you know what I mean? You just feel it. You just feel it.
yeah, like our recovery time to things, it was quicker.
Yes.
And I think that's definitely changing. And so it's kind of because I think mentally we know this is happening. I think most of us are just like, yes, I'm getting old. I will get old. I will be that person I see on the television. I will be my folks at some point. But it happens so gradually and slowly that your mind has to adjust very quickly to be like, oh, okay, well, I maybe can't do that anymore, and that's okay. But also giving your time and space to like mourn that and acknowledge that and accept that, I think is very important.
Absolutely, I agree. Next question, DR, let's do it. Next question is, that's my favorite question of the Magic Box and came up to you.
Okay.
Right. Send away a message to someone, but you don't need to tell who this message is for.
I'm grateful for the conversation that we had recently, and I know it was tough. I know that I don't think either of us got what we really wanted out of that conversation, but I think it was a good step forward in the right direction, and that we get to take that journey together. I will strive to be more patient and compassionate, and I hope that we can understand each other in a deeper, real way sometime soon.
Beautiful, beautiful. I got goosebumps now, my goodness. Beautiful and powerful as well at the same time. Good one. I love it. Ready for another one?
Sure, Oprah. Come on, you trying to get me to cry?
Oh, it's good, okay to cry. I think crying is a beautiful thing, you know what I mean? It's about when emotions come along, and I'm sure the person on the other side, you know, appreciates that. And I mean it. I had goosebumps when you finished the message, because it's so powerful, and I could feel it, that it meant a lot for you, and for sure the message as well is going to mean a lot for the person who is watching right now. And you know, this person is going to see through your eyes that you are genuine about it, and that's why I said it's beautiful. Good. Before you start crying, let's go another question, okay?
Okay.
But before the next one, I would like to tell me what's the best part of being an events planner. As you mentioned before, you know, the job you do, what do you like the most? And of course, there's always a challenging part. What that would be?
There's nothing better than seeing your vision come together and seeing an audience react to that vision. There's always a hope that people are happy and enjoying themselves, but I also like art that makes people uncomfortable. I think when we are uncomfortable, that is an opportunity to grow and learn about who we are. So it's I guess it's a visual response, being able to create a moment in a time and space where people show up and have a visceral response that's authentic. That is just like adrenaline, a drug, all the things just rolled into one, shot directly into my veins, and I love every minute of it. It's really cool. Challenging is I think getting people there. That's something that I've struggled with a lot, and I take it personally, which I know is like number one rule not to do. But and I think that's when I discovered this idea of like space is my art. I think that helped me understand why it hurt me so much when people aren't there. Is like my art requires people to show up. Mm-hmm. I'm not just putting, let me remove that just. I'm not putting something on in canvas and putting out in the world and letting it go, and that's what it is. Mine is tangible and it's ephemeral. My art is in the moment, and if people don't show up, they don't experience it, and then that's hard for an artist to come to terms with, is people not experiencing their art.
All right. Next question is, what's your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show? Oh, William, come on, man. Kill your darlings, right? I think right now Atlanta is a show that just ended on FX, and I think it's the most bizarre, weirdest show. It's one of the few half-hour shows that I could not binge watch, just because more likely than not, the episode that I watched was just so strange and powerful that I wasn't ready to go to the next chapter. I think the performances were spot on. Really scathing, powerful view of like race in America and the music scene, and I loved everything about it.
It's something new, or it's been on for a while?
It's had 4 seasons, and this was the last season. It just ended, and I think it started in maybe like 2016, 2015. It was on FX. Amazing show.
Good. Shall we do another one?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Let's do it. All right. Next question is, which talent do you wish you had?
Oh, I think it's a talent that I have, but I wish that I would have spent more time and energy into it, and it's dance. When I was in high school, I started doing more dance because they needed male bodies to do their stuff, and so I really loved it. And I look back, it's not a regret, but it is something that I wonder what would have happened if I put my time and energy into that a little bit more, and what that would do. So yeah, dancing, and that runs the gamut of everything from modern to ballet to hip hop. So yeah,
dancing. And when was the moment that you realized that you were born to be an artist? There was a moment that, or not, since young age, you always you just loved being around, you know, as you said, dancing or acting or being the theater or anything.
Yeah. It was my friend Elizabeth in high school pulled me into an audition my freshman year in high school, and she just said, "You're coming with me," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And we were in the old cafeteria, and the seniors were doing their annual spring show that they directed, and the freshmen and sophomores were there just auditioning, and I had no idea what any of this was. But they would be like, "Okay, do this weird thing," and I just said yes, and had so much fun. It was ridiculous. And being able to riff off other people and then see people reacting to what I was doing, what we were doing together. And so I got cast in the show, and I remember the first night of the first audience, I walked out stage and was doing my thing, and it was just this like really bizarre and surreal moment where I was like, I am creating something from nothing, and then people are here for it. They want to go on this journey with us, and it was just like the strangest thing, the strangest agreement, that these strangers walked into a space, they gave money to be there, and they were going to hopefully follow us on this journey. And it was just like, it doesn't make any sense, William, when you think about it, but it was happening, and we were in the middle of it. And I think that's when it kind of clicked, where this is something that I wanted to do in some capacity, in some form, for the rest of my life.
Amazing. Good. 3 questions left for you. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, before the next one, tell me behind you, which one of those posters is your favorite movie, if you can pick? I know it's quite difficult, but just those one you can see behind you.
That's the ones in the frame right here.
Yeah, the ones I can picture. Which one you go like, okay, I need to take this. This one is my one of my favorites. I can see gay sex. I can see their Texas theater.
Yeah. I think of all of these. It would. I mean, there's so many, but Priscilla, Queen of the Desert comes to mind. Like, it's right there. Oh, no, hold on. There we go.
Yeah.
Right there, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I love it because it came out very like early in Hollywood, like the early 90s, I think, maybe mid 90s. Powerhouse performers doing amazing job of channeling these drag queens and a transgender individual. And I think there was so much heart to it that I wasn't expecting. And it was about the chosen family and the biological family, and how it's possible for those to coexist. And I was just really amazed and inspired by it.
Good. Next one is, if I would ask your best friend right now to define you in a positive word and a negative word, what your best friend would say?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't. Okay, so, let's do negative first. Let's do negative. Maybe unforgiving.
Interesting.
Maybe.
Okay.
And then positive, I think what like having strong integrity. So I can't sum it up in one word, but like yeah, having strong integrity.
I see.
Maybe. I'm gonna call her after this, William, and I'm gonna ask, and then I'm gonna update this on YouTube with the real answer that she said. Okay.
Actually, you should ask them when they watch the interview, just for what they're gonna say. You pause the interview to see their answer, and after you play again, just to see what they're gonna say.
I love it. I love it. Give me homework, William. Give me homework.
I could see that you're a bit hesitant to say about be unforgiven. It's something that you've been working on, or is something that your friends always kind of spot that on you?
I think it's just I think I'm learning that, and so I guess we oftentimes are the last person to realize something about ourselves. So I make up that the people that know me well have maybe thought that in the past. I can't remember a time where they have said that, but I also know how I feel in certain situations.
Yeah.
I guess it's the Taurus in me that's like, if you cross me or betray me in a way that's important to me, like we're done. It's black and white. You're not in my life. And that's not fair to anybody, me included. So it's like trying to wrestle with that. So I guess that's why I say unforgiven.
2 questions left for you. Let's do it.
Yeah, but you keep adding an extra one, so it's like 7 questions more, and I'm fine with it. I'm here for it. But
shall we go through the whole Magic Box question? We're gonna be here for another 4 hours.
That's fine. I told you my Tuesday is free. I'm ready to go, William.
Next one. Let's pretend I'm coming to Texas for the very first time. What's the place that is a must? I need to visit. I need to see. There is something that you go like, yeah, that's the postcard of Texas.
In Texas, can we just do Dallas?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Actually, I said Texas thinking of Dallas. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, Dallas. Yes.
Don't apologize. So Dallas was voted the best international skyline, I think in like 2014. And there's a bridge in Dallas that just has this gorgeous view of downtown Dallas. So that would be really cool. I would definitely take you to some restaurants. Dallas has amazing food scene here. So like if you were coming, William, we would have a good day period. We'd start breakfast out, go shopping in some thrift stores, walk around some cute neighborhoods, have a good lunch, probably barbecue, walk some more, maybe see a theater show, and then go to a bar, and then end on the bridge, just kind of overlooking Dallas.
Okay, it's recording now. When I come to Dallas, we're done.
You got open invitation. We've got a guest room in my house. You're welcome anytime, my friend.
Amazing. Next question is, define yourself in a season of the year and why?
Oh. I'm gonna choose my favorite season, and it's fall. I think because there is a very obvious celebration of change, of transition, and it usually can go into a contemplate, in my opinion, if you're going from autumn, fall into like winter, you're going into a space to contemplate these changes. So like there's kind of this idea of in the moment of time in fall, wherever you are, of kind of like going inward and going quiet to slumber and rest. And then, you come out in spring, hopefully learning something, and you're going to bloom even brighter and more powerful than before. But to get there, you have to go through. And so I want to go through that, through the fall and the autumn element.
Is your birthday around the same time you were born or not?
No, I'm born in May.
All right. Ready for the last question?
Yeah.
Last one, let's do it. But before the last question, people watch the interview right now in Dallas or in Texas or in the US or in the world, and they come to celebrate your projects, that you do once a month. What they are going to expect, what they're going to see, it's something that they're going to take home, something that they're going to go like, okay, that's a lifetime experience. Tell me about it.
My hope is that when people come to Cinewild, that they come and they're shocked, they're uncomfortable, but in a gentle way, in a way where they can access why they feel that way. We have these pre-show conversations. I hope someone learns something. I hope somebody walks away and says, I didn't know that person was queer or gay, or I didn't know that this was happening in Dallas and it's in the queer community. That idea of sparking and inspiring something new is really important to me. And sometimes how we get there is through the political and through the uncomfortable. I hope people have a good time, that they are laughing, and that they learn something about the film that they're watching, and that they stick around afterward and talk to the audience that is there, because I think our audience that shows up in these moments are the real teachers. They're the ones that you get to learn and know about, and having that shared experience gives each person a starting point to have a conversation where they can hopefully learn something really powerful about that person, and where they can share something really powerful about who they are.
Beautiful. Last question for you is, tell us something that you have done that you feel very proud of yourself.
Yeah, I have some. I don't know if I want to share that one. Yeah, I will, but I won't belabor the point. I was at a job that I had. There was somebody that was working there that was abusing their power, and I worked with some other powerful women, and we were able to remove that person from the company. And it sucks, because the reason why I'm hesitant to share this is because it's one of the things I'm most proud about in my life, but it was also a dark moment for somebody else. And so I'm trying to navigate that idea of I'm not celebrating this person's well, I guess I kind of am, because they were abusing their power and they did not need to be there. So I'm celebrating that change, but I don't want to revel in somebody else's misfortune. Even if that was misfortune that they brought in their life, what I'm celebrating is that justice was done, and that we made that space safer for women to work. And that's something that I'm really proud about.
Okay, thanks for sharing. Thanks, DR. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
You got it.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much, and enjoy the word association game.
Money.
Work.
Family.
Obligation.
How about love?
Necessary.
Life.
Beautiful.
How about sex?
Necessary.
Your face. Necessary. Politics.
Personal.
Religion.
Unnecessary.
How about fear?
Friend.
Friendship.
Lifeline.
Desire.
Peer.
Regret.
constant.
One word for success.
Peace.
How about wish?
Joyful.
Happiness.
Calming.
One word for Dallas.
Adolescence.
One word for Texas.
Problematic.
USA, one word.
Racist.
And the last one now, if you could define your passion, your project in one word, what that would be?
One word, William. I think you know by now. That's really hard for me. Can we have a hyphen?
Yes, yes,
hyphen? Okay. Queer affirming.
Amazing.
That's two words. I lied. I broke your rule. I'm sorry, William.
Okay, no, it's not the first one. It's fine. Sometimes I understand. It's difficult to put, thing in one word. Right, let's pretend I'm going to meet your lovely husband for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, tell me the most beautiful thing about DR, and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What he would say?
I think he would say the thing that he loves the most about me is my passion. And I think that he would also say I could work on being more patient.
Saying that, what's the biggest similarity between both of you and the biggest difference?
Ooh, I've never been asked that before. I think similarly, the thing that we bonded over and how we even met was our love for comics. So I think we have a similar love for the storytelling and that medium, and we understand the importance of it. And I think our biggest difference, there's a lot of differences. I do believe the adage opposites attract. So you're asking like what I think the biggest difference is between my husband and I.
Yes.
I'm more of a reactionary doer, planner, going out, and he is much more extrovert, and he is much more of an introvert. He is slower to process, and prefers to be indoors and at home, and I am the opposite of being very gregarious and extroverted and reactionary and things like that. So yeah, I think those are the biggest differences between us.
Again, when you watch the interview, pause again to see his his answer, and you play again to see if it matches.
Yeah, I hope you don't start an argument between us, but if you do, William, we'll learn something out of it, and I will let you know what that is, okay?
Can you tell his name or not?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, his name is Jameson.
Jameson, it's my fault, okay? Don't take personal on him. I'm just putting him on the spot, okay? It's my fault. You can send me a message on Facebook or Instagram, said William, I can take the whole blame, okay? I just put him on the spot. So I didn't give him time to think, okay?
You are a good man for that, my friend. Thank you.
Welcome. I'm just clarifying things. I just want to put everyone in peace.
Absolutely.
Let's play now. DR in the Matchbox, and you can ask me a question. Okay, DR from Dallas, you can ask me a question now.
Yes, I've got two questions for you. Just like you, I'm going to say one and then slide one in real fast. I'm going to do the basic one first, okay?
Okay.
What is your criteria for finding people to interview? What do you look for?
Amazing question. I love your question, and I'll tell you why. There are no criteria. There's nothing that I'm looking for. When I go on social media, and the same way when I approach you online, I literally, I don't look into much the profile, because I like to get to know the person through the interview, like if they accept my invitation. The only thing that I kind of look a little bit if this profile is not fake, because I realize there are so many profiles that people just through these projects, that's a lot of people, they use other people's pictures, and I kind of just have a look briefly to see if it's a real profile. If I feel that it's real, I just throw the message away. And again, if it meant to happen, like we are doing now, it meant to we meant to make you know, memories now. If it doesn't, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's part of the journey as well. I had so many experiences that people, they thought it was a scam. When I approached them, and they said, "Oh my God, Will, I'm so glad that it wasn't." Because imagine the beginning when I started. I didn't have my website. The show was not on yet. Yeah. So people, they were even wonder more. I need to explain more and more and more. Nowadays, there is everything there. People just can go on Google and everything's there. So yeah, there are no criteria, DR. I strongly believe that all of us, we have a story to tell. I think everyone, you know, all of us, there is something that we, as you said so much in this interview that I'm sure so many people, they're going to connect with you just because what you said, you know, and not just that, but everyone, when we are talking here, there's so many people that are going to, you know, appreciate and also connect with us as well, what we are saying. So that's the only thing. I'm sure, you know, there's nothing that I'm looking there, like, you know, there's no like countries, if they are straight or gay or men, women. Again, other good point is, when I approach men, it's fine because, you know, a lot of gay guys or straight guys, it's okay. But when I approach women, some of them, they don't believe it. They think that it's a hint for me to kind of get, you know what I mean? Because they don't know I'm gay. So sometimes when I approach them, the same way as approach like gay guys or straight guys, they think that maybe, you know, I'm trying to, you know, something out with them. That's that's the only like thing that I go like, oh my God, I wish they couldn't see that, you know. And understand, I'm sure women, you know, guys, they find a way to you know, to start something. And so yeah, that's the only thing that I go like, oh my God, I wish they didn't have the same reaction as the gay guys or straight guys they have. So yeah, but there are no criteria at all.
I think, William, what you're doing is truly beautiful. It's, you know, not to belabor a stupid phrase, but it's the Lord's work. It's the idea that you're giving everyone the much needed feeling of feeling special and being heard and being seen. And we all deserve that in our lives. And I think you're doing this in such a beautiful way that you're allowing people to feel that special. And I just thank you for that, and I hope that you're enjoying this beautiful.
Oh my God!
All these people. That's so cool, William. That's so cool.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much. Second question.
Me to you.
Yeah.
Okay. This is my favorite question. I love asking this in interviews when we are hiring new people at our game store. When you do something good or right, or do a good job, how do you like to be recognized?
Good question. If I pass the interview, can I get a job in your store?
I mean, sure. Yeah, absolutely. It depends on how you answer this question, William.
Okay, so let's do it. Okay, I'm going to be very genuine and honest, okay? Right. I think the way that I like to be recognized for something that I've done that maybe, you know, I did something right. Actually, I would prefer that, believe it or not, I'm very shy. Yeah, I'm a shy person. But I think the way I'd like to be recognized is just, let's say, genuinely, how can I explain that? I don't want to, like, let's say, I would like not to hear words or compliments or say something, but maybe, you know, during my journey, if I get the opportunity, or, you know, kind of show me this appreciation that I've done something right, or, you know, I done something that maybe I went to extra mile or something genuinely. So what I like is, of course, sometimes when you hear your manager or someone, kind of your boss, come up to you, say, oh, you did a good job, that was something special. But for me, I would like not to be pointed straight away, but maybe another opportunity, you know, could mention that, or maybe an opportunity that, you know, maybe I did something wrong, or maybe something, I don't know, but maybe could be mentioned in another opportunity, let's say. I don't know if I answered your question, but being recognized is just, I would say as well, like, I don't know, when, if I had the opportunity to step out or do something different, maybe this would count, you know, even not knowing that I did something right, but the person in charge or the boss could kind of keep that in mind, And yeah, I think that would be something that I would like to be recognized for.
So you would, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
If you go above and beyond and you do a good job, and
Yeah.
I wanted to recognize you, what I would do, what you would like me to do, is pull you aside and do it individually, or find a different opportunity that's not so on the nose to recognize you in front of the staff. Like,
I wouldn't like to be recognized in front of the staff
Okay.
at all. I would like maybe as again another opportunity to, you know, again in private, not right away, because that's I think would break the magic of the, you know what I mean, of the job, of
Yeah.
the thing that happened. You know what I mean? Because maybe I wouldn't, you know, but another opportunity, as I said, another opportunity maybe when I'm one-to-one in a conversation or something together, could go like, oh, I remember when you did that. And that, for example, on appraisal, I don't know if to say that in the US, appraisal, when you have this 3 months or 6 months meeting when you start a job, maybe
Okay.
that's in a private conversation, I'd like to be mentioned, but not like in front of everyone, or not, oh my God, that's for sure. No, never.
Yeah.
No, I would like it to be that. I would feel so like I would like to hide myself.
Yes.
No, I wouldn't like that. I would like to be made this, let's say, comments in a private conversation, like when you need to go through, you know, my appraisal, when, you know what I mean, like in a year, or when I need to talk about my performance at work, or when you had the opportunity to talk in private. That's where I would like to be recognized, or maybe talk about that moment. Yeah, for sure.
I love what you said, William, because well, let me tell you this. You're the first person we've had our business for 9 years. We've been hiring for the past like 7 years. You're the first person who's given me a different answer. Everyone else just says, I like to be recognized in front of the staff, which is a wonderful thing. I'm not taking that away. But the reason why I like to ask this question is because of what you just said. My husband too is an introvert. If I draw attention to him in front of a large crowd, or even like the 12 employees that we have, it's going to make him, it's going to make him feel uncomfortable, which is completely counteractive than what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to let that person know that I value what they're doing, and you did a great job, and you deserve to feel special. But if I'm doing that in a way that someone doesn't like to be recognized, then it's completely out the window, and it's a waste of time. And so I think it's really important. I don't think, you asked me that question too about success. I think we don't spend enough time in our culture, at least in North America, spending time on what we deem is our measure of success. I think so many of us see money, a house, a job title as success. And while that can be success, and that's many people's success, I don't think many of us spend time thinking about what it is internally for us as an individual. What do I want when I'm getting recognized? And so that's why I really like this question. And in an interview process, I think it's really helpful as one of the owners of the store to be able to know how I can celebrate my team. So I liked what you said. And when I want to give you props, William, it'll be 3 months from now, and I will reference what happened in a way that is between you and I.
Oh, and again, when you were saying, like when you were before that, when you were saying about, about the magic box, the job I'm doing, trust me, if I could go like this, or if I could hide myself, I would have done. I was just standing like this, let's wait, because I'm so difficult to deal with those comments. I appreciate them, like from my heart. Goodness, you have no idea how I appreciate. But for me, I just go like, please don't say that. Please don't say that. Please don't say that. You know what I mean? Something personal. As you said, they're not right or wrong. It's just different reactions, different way of, approaching compliments, or, I think in the end of the day, everyone appreciates that. It's just a different way. People, they prefer to be recognized somehow. But for me personally, I would prefer to have a seat in appropriate time, and we can talk about. But even though I would still feel like that, I'll be like that in front of my manager like this. Okay, you can tell, but I'll be like this. DR, did you have a good time?
I had a wonderful time. I mean, what you asked an artist to talk about themselves for an hour. Are you kidding me? I love this. This was a great time to share what I do with someone that was very interested and who asked great questions. So yeah, 100%. I had a great time. Thank you.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for being kind and sweet, and for the kind words as well. And I'm waiting for the contract to sign, okay, to get hired for your store, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. When are you going to move to Dallas?
Right, I just need to get a visa. It's going to be a long process. Before you go, DR, can you share a positive message, something that you live by?
Yeah. In true my fashion, can I leave two?
Absolutely. Just because I got hired, okay?
Okay, I got it. One of my favorite quotes, and I think it's very applicable right now in this age of social media. One of my favorite quotes is from Teddy Roosevelt, and he said, "Comparison is the thief of joy."
Wow.
So that's one of my quotes that I live by, and I hope that.
I never heard that before, and I love it. I never heard it. I love it. Wow, that's amazing.
I hope when your viewers and your followers are, going through social media and Instagram and YouTube, that when they start to feel a certain way, they can just remember that comparison is the thief of joy. Don't let anybody steal that joy from you.
Wow.
And then something that I think is really important now in the, at least in North America for sure, even though North America isn't the only country going through this like weird return to nationalism. There's a quote from James Baldwin, a gay Black man, that I think is really powerful right now that everyone needs to really marinate on when they're talking with someone that they might disagree with. James Baldwin said, "We can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist."
Nice one. Thanks so much for sharing, DR. Thank you so much. And keep in touch regards to your husband, to your family, and we keep in touch. It was a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much, okay?
Thank you so much, William. Have so much fun with all of your interviews, and I can't wait to see more of them, okay?
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Mwah.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.